Welcome, everybody. How is everybody doing? I know here in Columbus, Ohio, it is freezing, and freezing is an understatement. But guess what? It's going to be cool because we're going to have some more girl talk. I can't wait till you got to meet my new powerhouse for this week. She's amazing. But first and foremost, I want to welcome you all into What's Next for Women podcast, the podcast where we have girl talk and we talk about our what's next, but then how we kick what ifs and I can'ts in the butt. So grab your pen and paper. Okay, you guys, guess what? I have something to show you real quick. Grab your notebook, and guess what? And grab your favorite evening beverage. Yes, grab these two up, grab your girlfriend and girlfriends, and we're going to get some dropping some nuggets here. But before I go any further and bring on the guests here, I wanted to let you know tonight's show is all sponsored by Vision Made Magazine, the magazine that is printed on a quarterly basis. And it is all about empowering, inspiring you going after your what's next. There's inspirational stories as well as motivational stories. There's power words. You guys know I'm all about the power words. And speaking of power words, this week's power word is mindset. And I think what a perfect way we segue into doing some mindset is talking about how did we kick the what ifs and I can'ts and still rocking our what's next. So if you're interested in gaining a copy of the Vision Made magazine, drop it in the feed below and we will definitely get a copy to you. It is also Win Wednesday, everybody. So what's your win for this week? You drop it in the feed and tell us what your win is for this week. Tell us what your win is for this week. I would love to hear it from you, as well as if you have any questions during this time, drop them in the feed and we definitely will get to you. So let me introduce to you our amazing, our amazing powerhouse. Her name is Sasha. Miss Sasha is a former executive who holds a master's in social work and is the founder of Sasha X Home. You guys got to hear about the program that she's created. It's amazing. Sasha believes that working moms are exceptional humans who are skilled, devoted, and unstoppable. I so agree with her. Sasha has spent 15 years working in a nonprofit. She's now have developed a 4-step method that focuses on home, relationship, and systems to help mothers hit the start on life they've put on pause. So without further ado, I am going to bring on my powerhouse, Miss Sasha. Finally, we get to really do our show. It seems so long ago since we last talked.
I know, Pamela. It's so great to see you. Hello, everybody.
Well, welcome. Tell everybody a little bit more about yourself.
Absolutely. So, first and foremost, I am a working mom, ladies. Let me tell you, I have 2 rambunctious boys who I swear, I don't know how they're my children sometimes, but neither here or there. I can tell you is that I love working moms. What can I say? I love them. I think we do so much. It is. And guess what? I've been there. I've done the overwhelm. I've been the overscheduled. I've been like, who am I? This is not the same me I was like 10 years ago. And I wanted her back. I wanted the fun Sasha. I wanted the Sasha that was traveling, just living life. And my husband would just keep telling me, like, okay, but now you're a grown up. Now we have like real responsibilities. I'm like, I don't care. I want the good life. And so that's what I did. I created it. That's why I went into coaching. I said, that's it. I want other people to have fun like me.
Yeah. And I'm so with you. I still work in corporate. So I totally get these women that are sitting in that corporate desk, like thinking, I want more. And actually, I was one of them women that sat back and I really, like I told you my story before, I sitting at the corporate desk looking around like, okay, is this it? And knowing that I'm so glad that you're here so women can see here instead of hearing my story, knowing that you can go after your what's next. And it's simple and it's easy peasy to do. As long as you have the tools, the mindset, and an amazing tribe behind you, you can do it. Is it hard? Yes. But if it was easy, the world would be hard. I mean, come on now. But if you have all those tools, it's inevitable. You're setting yourself up for success.
Absolutely. And guess what? Whatever that version that you're dreaming about, It's going to be it. It's going to be that. Because guess what? You're going to make it happen. And that version should not look like everybody else's, which is like the complete opposite of what corporate life is like. Because then corporate life is all about how do we all like have the same, and the evaluations are the same, and the reason you get promotions are the same. Everything's the same. And I'm coming in and saying, guys, I want you to stand out. I don't care what you stand out, what it looks like. You do you. You deserve it.
Yeah, I'm glad you are so right. And I love your energy. That's why when you came on, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to bring mine down, because I'm like, Sasha is really, I'm like you, but I'm excited. And I want women around the world to know that they can do this, and we're going to give them a little tips on how they can get to it. Because let's be honest, everybody's sitting at the desk. Well, here those two are talking about it can be done, and they're doing it. But we're going to step back for a moment. When you were in the corporate world, did you see yourself leaving? And if so, what prepared you for you leaving the corporate world?
When I was working, I was fortunate enough to be in a career that I loved. But guess what? When I was coming home, I was exhausted. I was answering emails till 11 at night, and I wasn't giving the love and attention that my family really deserved. Okay. So I'll be honest with that. And that's one of the reasons that my tagline is working with women who are killing it at the office, but feel like they're failing at home, because that was me. And I get it. I was putting my career first, and that's okay. I'm not going to be guilty about that. I'm not going to say, oh, you shouldn't put your career first. No, you should do what you love. However, there are times when your family needs you. So part of that for us, and to be completely transparent about my journey, one of the kind of tipping points was for my child and this happened, like the pandemic was just like coincidental at the same time. It's just, we were really ignoring is a nice word for it. Years of people telling us like he needs extra assistance. He needs more than what the teachers are able to provide. We've heard it for so much. So especially during the pandemic, it just came to a head. We finally got the mental health help that we needed for him. And during that time, going through the therapies with him and all of this, I really had to take a look at myself. And as much as I thought we were providing this amazing life, because we were, right? Like we're the quintessential, like we're working hard, and we take him to sport practice, and we do all of this stuff that you're supposed to do. And I'm educated in this field. Come on, I have my master's in social work. I should know better. I should be able to treat him without, the psychologist, psychiatrist, and all of this stuff. But guess what? I took a look and I said, well, wait a minute, I'm not being true to myself either. I'm not creating the life that I want. I'm a little bitter as well. Even though I'm rocking it at work, I'm coming home and I'm not that nice to be around sometimes. And that's when we really started to learn more about him and started to learn more about us and how we can be as a family. I said, wait a minute, like this is all just too much. This isn't worth it. This is not what I want to be teaching. This is not, when they grow up, my boys grow up, I want them to look back and remember me as a different version. So if anybody's out there and you're thinking, okay, well, what are they going to complain to the therapist about in 20 years? What I want my kids to complain is my mom was always happy. Right. Okay? My mom was always just like loving life. That's what I want. But that was not what I was giving. So that's part of my transition as well. That's to be totally, totally raw right there.
But I appreciate you being raw. And women have to understand we've all faced something in our lives, but I love that you were saying be true to yourself. That's amazing, because a lot of us women, we take on the world. You were taking on the world and thought, okay, I got this, when really things happen and you have to step back and say, okay, but now we've got this going on, and here's how we're going to take care of it. And I'm glad that you talked about that you had to step back, but you took care of it, and now look where you're at. Because so many women are sitting at their desk like, I still can't get this. I don't understand how you start. So say, for instance, we have, and actually someone has tagged me my phone, so you'll have to bear with me. I have my phone and this going on. So someone just said, though, how do we even start? Where did you even begin?
Yes, I love this expression. I love it. I love it. I love it. You go, girl. And the number one thing I want to say is the fact that you're thinking about it, you're already halfway there, girl. You're already halfway
Absolutely.
there. So props to you. So let me tell you, okay? So this is a simple exercise, all right? Which is honestly just what are your priorities? All right. So let me break down what that looks like. All right. That is not just like, you know, you want to have 10,000 followers on Instagram. No. What are your priorities? Who do you want to be? What is your list of like the top 10 things that you want out of life? And I'll tell you some of mine. Our number one thing, and again, I did this for me. I had my husband do it for him. I had my kids do it. Then we put it all together into our family's priorities. But let's just take you for now. Mine was number one is peace in the home. Because as I shared with you, there was not a lot of peace with my oldest son. And that was leading to a lot of fights at home. That was leading to a lot of arguments, even between my husband and I. It was affecting so many areas. So for us, the number one priority was peace in the home. It's not kids need to be perfect. It's not that they need to get straight A's. It's just simple peace in the home. Okay. So what are your priorities that you actually truly value? Is it giving? Is it being charitable? Is it being involved with the church or just being spiritual? Is it financial success? Is it physical, like well-being? Whatever it is, what are your top priorities? All right. Because guess what happens when you write it down and you look at it? It is something you can point back to. So now when things come up, you just look back and say, hey, does this match up? Does this fit into one of these? If it doesn't, it's the best way to say no. Because what happens is we always say yes, right? We always say yes. Then I say, well, and that is now what guides me and my family. When new opportunities or even a birthday party, it's like, well, does it lead to one of these? Nope. Okay. Sorry, not going, not doing it. You know, it's just an easy way for you to kind of narrow down what's important to you. Okay. And once you did that, from there, it's simple. Because you can just start with one. How can you do more of that? One of the things I always see is people thinking that they need to come in and guess what happens? They're going to need to not do something. They're going to need to do less of social media. They're going to need to do less of, I don't know, eating chocolate, which I will never give up, ladies. Never. Okay. But whatever it is. And what I say is, no, I want you to start by doing more of something you love. So looking at that list, what is one thing you can do more of? Because guess what happens when you do more of something you actually enjoy and you actually like? You look forward to it. You enjoy your time. Your energy during and after whatever it is that you're doing is lifted. And guess what? As a result happens as well. You're doing less of something else, such as social media, such as gossiping, I don't know, such as whatever else happens, because you don't have the time for it. So instead of just trying to cut things out of our lives that we say are like bad for us, I just want you to do one thing that you enjoy out of that list and grow from there.
Oh, so true. I'm with you. But you know what? Let's be honest. Did it take you a moment to really think about your one priority for you? Did it take you a moment to really think of you? Or did you think, and when you first started doing that priority list, did you think of this person's priority or this person or this person? So was it hard for you just to think of your own priority for yourself? Because let's be honest, we're always thinking of everybody.
Of course.
So
you know what's not on my list? Self-care. All right. It's not. Guess what is? It's being balanced, and it's like being a balanced person.
Right.
That's what's on my list, because it's not just about self-care. It's about so much more. It's being physically fit, but what that looks like to me, it's very different than what it looks like to somebody else.
True. That is so true.
It's not about like, okay, well, that means I'm going to do yoga 3 times a week. That means I'm going to get a facial. That means I'm going to get my nails done. Guess what? If you've never been the girl, like I've never been the girl that gets a manicure. That's just not who I am. That's not going to be self-care to me.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Getting a nap on Saturday afternoon is 100% self-care to me.
Right. So true.
All right?
Yeah, especially, well, I mean, because the boys, I remember that when we first talked, the boys they're so cute. You guys got to see them. They're the most, don't listen to her. They're so cute. The oldest, he was like, but we were just talking. But you know what? I'm glad that you're taking the time out. One thing, let's go back to one thing that I did put in my notes, how to say no.
Yes.
So that's hard. That, I mean, to a lot of people are saying, well, how do you say no to, especially we have so many people that are the people pleasers. Let's work on them. They're always consistently saying yes, yes, yes. Then they're like, I can never say no. So what do you say to somebody like that?
Oh my gosh. I say, take a deep breath. You're not going to change overnight. Okay. You're not going to all of a sudden wake up and be like, that's it. I'm putting myself first. Everybody else back in the line. All right. It's not going to happen. But you can be proactive and think of one thing. Okay. So let me give you an example. Let's say the weekend's coming up, right? And you know that most of the time on the weekend, blah, blah, blah calls and blah, blah, blah need something, or your kids are going to wake up on Saturday morning and they want cartoons and you're not into them having cartoons, whatever it is. What's something that you can predict that you can set yourself up for success in saying no? Because it's a lot harder to be reactive if you're not used to saying no and putting up boundaries, okay?
So
and making sure that your plate stays balanced versus over full because you're saying yes to everything. So let's try to think proactively of something that is either coming up or it's going to happen just naturally because it always does,
right?
That you can be prepared to say no. So just one thing, okay? A lot of times what I hear is maybe some issues with the mother-in-law or grandparents or supervisor or things like that, right? And what I say to that is you're not just going to wake up and say no, right? Like I would love for you to, like, if you figure that out, call me. But call me. But what you can is start to limit it as well. Okay.
So true.
If you're really having issues with a supervisor or supervisor is different. Family is very different than, your work stuff. But let's take family, right? Because I'm all about the home. If you're having lots of issues with your mother-in-law, even mother, it doesn't have to be mother-in-law. It could be a friend, whoever. How can you limit that? Okay. Can you limit the interaction? So if you're going over there, maybe you're not saying no to that Sunday dinner, but guess what? Maybe you have an agreement with your partner, if you have a partner or kids, that you're just going to go over there for an hour and a half. That's it. Versus the 3 hours and put up with all of that stuff that that's going to happen. Like, start small. There are so many ways you can get creative in what feels good for you to be able to say no, because that's something you can work with, right? Because if you get good at that hour and a half, you can cut it down to an hour. And then you can cut it down to saying, hey, why don't you come to us? And then eventually you can cut it down to saying, you know what, this isn't the right time, or they're going to go without you, or whatever it looks like, whatever is going on for you. But let's start small and try to be as predictable and proactive as possible.
I love that. Starting small is such a reachable goal. We see the big, huge goal, overall goal. What's our likelihood to reach it? So I'm all about creating a small little baby step goals, and then we can get to the bigger. The bigger goal is so attainable. It's crazy. And then once you reach it, you're like, that wasn't so bad after all.
Yes, because you get better at it.
Yeah.
You don't set yourself up for failure by being like, okay, next time she calls, I'm just going to say no.
Right.
Or that's it. We're no longer doing this in the family. And everyone's looking around like, what are you talking about?
Right.
Right? Like, you're starting with, okay, we're going to try this. Then we're going to do more of this. Then we're going to do more of that. And then it just becomes a habit you can stick with.
Right.
Instead of setting yourself up for this high expectation. And then the first time you collapse under pressure, you're like, oh my God, it's not for me. I can't do this.
And I won't. And then what's the likelihood of you going back doing it? It's so true. And we will repeat the cycle over and over because we fail because of the fear and the failure. But knowing that if we do set small baby steps and achieve it, we got this. So my question to you is, as you and I have faced it before, the obstacles, what was one obstacle that you have faced before you got to this point, and how did you get over it?
I mean, I feel like I'm facing obstacles every
Oh,
day, but you know,
well, me too. I understand.
I will tell you, one of my favorite things that I'm so proud of that we did is the fact of traveling. All right. It doesn't seem like an obstacle, but it seemed so out of reach because I want to enjoy a vacation. And I felt like we have kids. No one's going to take our kids. So that means any time we go somewhere, we have to take them. So to us, it was like, okay, well, how do we do this? And we've really created a life of being able to travel for a longer period of time so we could actually enjoy it versus like a weekend or 4 days or 5 days where we feel like we have to run around everywhere.
Yeah.
Another more attainable like obstacle I would say is look, to be totally transparent, is my relationship with my mother. Bless her heart. Okay. Bless her heart. And I would say at some point you have to recognize, especially if it's your parents, you're not going to change them. All
Yes,
right.
it's
As
true.
positive as I am, as much as I'm like, okay, this time I'm not going to go off script. This time I'm going to be able to just say, okay, thank you for that advice. I got it.
Right.
Wonderful. Or this time I'm going to say, yes, you've told me 200 times that you're so nervous about me when I tell you everything is fine. Okay. There's just oh my goodness, that one is tough. That one I'm
Yeah.
still working on. But the biggest advice I can say there is just you're not going to change them. You can
Yeah.
only change yourself. I could only change my reaction to the exact same questions every single time. And no matter what that answer is, it's not going to be good enough. And that is just something I need to be okay with.
I understand. I'm with you there. Well, our time is almost up. It has gone by fast. I knew it would. We had a good time talking the first time around, so I so appreciate you joining us. But I wanted to know before we get, I got a couple more questions, but before we go to break, so how if someone wanted to follow you or find you, how can they find you, Miss Sasha? Sasha?
Absolutely. If you are a working mom, head on over to sashaxhome.com and you can download the 5 steps to coming home happy after work so you could feel a little bit lighter and a little bit brighter today. You could book a session on the website. I'd love for you to join the community. I'd love for us to get connected.
Absolutely. You guys got to do that. Those of you who are wanting her, she is offering a free gift. So if you want the free gift, you can drop your email here. We'll definitely shoot it over to you tonight. If you guys have any questions, drop them here. I have my phone here. That's why I keep looking down. So I do have some questions going on. But if you guys have any questions, drop them in the feed. Definitely shoot them over to Sasha. And also, you guys, it's Win Wednesday. What's your win for the week? We just talked about setting small goals, but what's your win? You'll get to hear ours in a little bit, but we want to hear you because I love celebrating you out there. And I know you guys have set some amazing goals out there, and I know you guys are rocking them. And if you haven't set a goal, like I don't even know where to start at, drop it in the feed below. Say, "Ma'am, I need help," and I definitely will be out to reach out to you. And listen, I can't help you. I have thousands of other women, such as Sasha, behind me that can help you because we're here. This is the tribe. This is your tribe to support you, to help you get you to your what's next. So I'm telling you guys, you cannot say 2020, look, 2022, that you failed. It's a tongue twister for me. I don't know why. 2022, you failed because you know why? You have a tribe here that has your back, that supports you. And listen, we're not perfect, but we're here to help you and help you reach the goals that you want to reach. So in the feed, drop it here. We're definitely here for you. Don't forget about it. It's Win Wednesday. So, Sasha, so with that being said, as we're almost to the end of our show, one thing we talked about on the phone was about the book on the shelf. The book on the shelf, everyone, in case you don't know about it, ladies and gentlemen, book on the shelf is all about the books that we are reading. And it's not to entice you or forcing you to read it. It's just letting you know what we're reading. Because I believe in if you empower your mind, expand your mind, it is another way for you to get to your what's next. I believe in, the mind is just so powerful. And what way to do it is reading. Now, let me say this. I tell everybody, okay, you guys, I don't have time to read. So I have Audible. I have 50 books on Audible. I have 50 books on Audible. And so when I'm sitting in the office or I'm driving, it's all about putting the book on and listening. So with that being said, Sasha, what's your book on the shelf?
The book that is on my nightstand, and if my arm was long enough, I would grab it. It's called What Would You Do If You Weren't Afraid? And I am digging it. And another one that I am just like praising is called Fair Play. Ooh. So those are the two that I highly recommend that are just top of mind, that I've been like quoting and going around being like, I got them with me. I got them with me everywhere I go.
So if you guys miss those, I will drop them in the feed on how you can books on the shelf. Now, my book on the shelf, actually, I'm reading. I have 3. Sorry, you guys. I'm listening. Remember, I'm not reading. I'm listening. So with all due respects, I have to get it here, Feeding the Soul by Tabitha Brown, which I really love. And Big Dream by Bob Jeff. I'm digging that one. And then my other one is actually a business book, and it's Uncloned by Audra Richmond. And she just talks about how to stand out and above everybody with your brand and your business. So those are my 3 book on the shelf. I will definitely put ours on there so you guys can, check them out. That's all I'm saying is checking them out. We're not forcing it on you. So in the last few moments, I have 2 more. The first one is, what is one tip that you can give a woman to implement today now that she can start working on her what's next?
Absolutely. So, I'm all about living your life at home. So, when you get home, take a look around. I want you to be able to have one space that's for you. So, that doesn't mean you have to go to Home Goods tonight and buy everything. I love me some Home Goods, but love me some Home Goods.
Girl, across the street from my house. That's dangerous in the spring and the summer.
But really, how can you take just one chair, one coffee table, something, create that space for you tonight? Just somewhere you can read some of those books we're talking about. And please, you deserve it. Because guess what? Everybody else has space in the house. I'm sure of it. Absolutely. I want you to create your own space because you deserve it. Put a blanket there. Get yourself some hot chocolate. Enjoy it. I want you to step into that space for you.
I did that, and I have candles. And so I took light candles, set some nice soothing music, and get this big blanket now, and I sit in the blanket, and I'm just sitting there, just, oh my God, it is. You guys, I promise you, you just try it once. It is the best. Sasha is so right. It is the best. Just try it, and then you'll come back and let us know how it went. You definitely have to do that. Real quick, Sasha, before I give you to the last question, Vicky's goal is her win is she's just starting writing her goals. I'm proud of you. That is so cool. You rock. Keep doing it. If you come up if you get stumped, just drop it here. There's one of us or somebody will give you some cheerleading or give you some points on how to help you move to the next so you can continue writing your goals down. Or if you come to a wall where you're like, what do I do with my goal? Or if you're needing help with your goal, we will be definitely, like I said, I can't do it. I got thousands of women like Sasha that can do it. Then over here, Sasha, let's see. Oh my. Let's see. Alicia said, my win, some amazing collaboration, goal to extend my invitation to sit powerful tables. That's good, girl. That's great.
Nice.
Right. Lynn says such yes, such a valuable thing to have in life, a personal, powerful space. Absolutely, absolutely. And everyone says yes, all those books. So you guys, as we're dropping nuggets, don't forget. Look, I got my look today. Normally I don't. Sasha even knows. Normally I don't have no snacks, no drink, no anything. So I do have a drink and I do have snacks in everybody. So again, you guys are amazing. And Sasha, as we wrap this up, time fast. We're gonna have you come back again because this was and fun, as I knew it would be, and amazing. So what is your win for this week?
Okay, so I'm going to be totally transparent. This is my win for the week, and let me tell you why. Everybody in my house has COVID. So the fact that I got out of bed and was able to shower and be here, this is my win for the week. I'm not even going to lie.
Oh my goodness, thank you. I hope everybody feels better. I
Yeah,
had
they're
no
fine.
clue. Oh, thank you for making the time. But I understand because actually, I just went through it with my grandbabies, and yeah, I truly get it. And so I commend you and for coming and getting, coming here. This was a blessing in disguise. And I have to say, my win for the week is bringing on amazing powerhouses yourself. Again, I knew it would be fun because we have fun during our little 15-minute chat, right? So it was just fun to bring it on and then bringing on a amazing powerhouse and showing other women around the world that you're rocking your what's next like no other, and it can be done. I mean, we talked about how it's being done and you're doing it, and you're doing it in an amazing way. So everybody, if I always have to share my story, but I want to hear other stories so you know that you're not doing this by yourself and you're not alone. Well, Miss Sasha, our time has came and gone so quickly. I want to thank you for coming on here. Thank you for being the amazing woman that I know you would be. I want you to come back the next time.
It would be my pleasure. And my goodness, Pamela, you are rocking it. I mean, I
Oh,
appreciate everything you said, but seriously, you are truly a powerhouse and such a woman to look up to. So I just want to
mhm.
give you lots of props and just say thank you. Thank you for all that you're doing. I love everything. I love it. And I can't wait to see what else is next for you.
Oh, thank you. Well, everybody, our show has came and gone. We want to thank you all for taking the time out. I mean, we're having my phone is still pinging and dinging. So I will, if you have any questions for Sasha, I will send them over to her tonight. Though I want you, right, bring them to her, ladies, bring them to her. So first and foremost, if no one has not told any of you yet, you guys rock and you're amazing, and know that you can go after your what's next no matter what. I mean, you heard Sasha telling you, what she went through and how she achieved her what's next and how I did it too. So, knowing that you have two powerhouse that are talking about how we achieved it and how we're going after it, even after we face those obstacles, the what ifs and I can't. And so you can too. And know that if no matter what, you only have one life, live it. Look at Sasha. She's got so much energy. Live it to the fullest and know that it is your life to live. If you guys need any help on getting to setting your goals, if you're needing any help on anything such as getting to your what's next, drop in the feed. We will definitely be in contact with you. Until next week, you guys, thank you so much. You rock, and we'll see you next week. Bye, everybody.